This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. Just because the Breeders' Cup is over and done with does not mean our racing season is over. We've still got some exciting racing to bring to you. Full card of races on the program for you today. We're going to start things off down in South Florida. We're on Saturday at Calder. The featured event was the Pete Axthelm Handicap, $100,000 for 3-year-olds going 7.5 furlongs over the turf course. Let's head down to South Florida now for the call of Saturday's Pete Axthelm Handicap.
They're off in the Pete Axthelm Handicap. Toward the inside, Wirtz moves for the lead. Middle of the course, that's Arrhythmia now moving up. To the far outside, it's Minor Wisdom. Then it's a length back to Bandis Passing. Another length back to the outside, it's AWOL Honey tucked in at the hedge. That's Special Coach. It's a length and a half back to the far outside, it's Hot Affair. Then it's a length and a half to the inside to Appeal to Reason. Half length back, it's Belfast Appeal. 2 more lengths to Mr. Rourke and 2 more to Six Course Meal. They went the first quarter in 23-4. They straighten out for the run up the backstretch. It's Wirtz in front by a half length. It's Rhythmian in second position. Then toward the inside, that's a Bandis Passing. To the far outside, it's Minor Wisdom. It's a half length back to Hot Affair. Then moving toward the inside, that's AWOL Honey. Another length to the hedge, it's Special Coach. Then a length back to the far outside, Mr. Rourke. Then Appeal to Reason. Another length back, Belfast Appeal. And 2 lengths to Six Course Meal. The half and 46-4, and they come to the quarter pole. Word still has a short lead. Moving on the far outside, that's Minor Wisdom to challenge. Slipping through along the inside, it's Bandis Passing. They move to the 8th pole. Bandis Passing now has the lead by 2.5. At the rail, that's AWOL Honey coming on. Then from between horses, it's Wirtz to the outside, Minor Wisdom. Deep stretch, it's Bandis Passing going to win it by 5. It's Special Coach coming on for the place. It was close. At the rail, that's AWOL Honey coming on. Then from between horses, it's Wirtz to the outside, Minor Wisdom. Deep stretch, it's Bandis Passing going to win it by 5. It's Special Coach coming on for the place. It was close for the show.
Against good horses all up and down the East Coast, rallying into the second spot here. Finishing third, number 10, AWOL Honey, breaking from the outside post position, hustled up a little bit in the early going, not able to make up much ground late, however, favored Wirtz at just over 2-1. Set the early pace, as he often does, not unexpectedly, but he did fade into the 4th position here. The winner, Bandis Passing, is a 3-year-old bay colt sired by Pass the Line. He is owned and trained by Stanley Ursoff. He was bred in Florida, so another good Florida-bred turf horse. We've seen a number of them. Good turf horses coming out of Florida in the last few years. Ridden to victory by Ibar Koa, completing the 7.5 furlongs in 1 minute, 27 4/5 seconds. Next, we're going to continue with stakes racing action from Calder Racecourse. On Sunday, it was the Francis H. Enter. $100,000 added, 3-year-old fillies this time going 7.5 furlongs on the turf course. Let's head back to Calder now for Sunday's Francis H. Enter.
They're all in the gate. And they're off in the Francis A. Genter Handicap. Along the inside, Seducer with Talamanca moving for the lead. Then in the middle of the course, Conquestality with Gitanita between horses. To the outside, Mop Squeezer. Next comes Shank. Then from between horses, Beauty Sweep. Hugging the hedge comes Nausicaa. Then it's 2 lengths back to the inside. That's Crystal Symphony. 3 more lengths to Sedgum's Luna Star. And a length and a half to Lady Buckingham. They went the first quarter in 23-4. They straighten out for the run up the backstretch, and they've got Talamanca to catch. She's opened up a 2-length lead. It's Conquestality in second position. Then toward the outside, Mop Squeezer. Between horses, Gitanita hugging the hedge. It's Seducer. Then a length and a half back to Nausicaa. Half length back, Beauty Sweep. Shank on the far outside. A length back, that's Crystal Symphony. Then it's 2 more lengths to Sedgum's Luna Star, and 2 more lengths to Lady Buckingham. The half in 47 seconds flat, and they leave the the backstretch and move on the turn. Talamanca leads by a length. Conquestality is second. Seducer on the hedge. Then Gitanita to the outside. Mob Squeezer shanking toward the inside. It's Nausicaa looking for room. They're at the top of the stretch now. Talamanca's been there since the beginning. She leads by a half length. On the inside, Seducer comes through to challenge. It's 2 lengths back to the outside. Gitanita now moving through between horses. Crystal Symphony. They come to deep stretch. Seducer now has the lead. Here comes Crystal Symphony toward the inside. It's Seducer. She's going to take the Francis A. Genter handicap. It was back to the outside. Gitanita now moving through between horses. Crystal Symphony. They come to deep stretch. Seducer now has the lead. Here comes Crystal Symphony toward the inside. It's Seducer. She's going to take the Francis A. Genter handicap. It was Crystal Symphony, a fast closing second. Close for the show.
A length advantage as the 14-10 favorite. Crystal Symphony breaking again from an outside post position, making a big rally as she usually does, unhurried early, making the big move up into the second spot. And for third, Talamanca, the early pace setter, holding on for a good third place effort at long odds of almost 17-1. The winner, Seducer, a 3-year-old dark bay or brown filly sired by Housebuster, was bred in Kentucky. She's owned by Peter Karshus and Charles and Susan Harris and trained by Christophe Clemence. Always an important trainer with those turf horses, hooking up with it for another victory in stakes company with rider Jose Santos. Seducer completes the 7.5 furlongs in 1 minute 28 and 3/5 seconds. Next, we're going to head to Laurel Park, where on Saturday the featured stakes event was the Stefanita Stakes. $75,000 added for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, going 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's head down to Laurel now for the call of the Stefanita.
They're off in the Stefanita Stakes. Chancy Lady and Cottage Garden, the first 2 out. The Unforgiven now up on the inside. Here comes Halo Security, and Halo Security's kicked right on through to lead the group. It's Halo Security taking command here, half length up the backstretch. The Unforgiven racing in second. Cottage Garden 3 wide, 4 wide. Chancy Lady, break of a length and a half, and Nothing Specials racing in fifth. Shasha Begone is sixth on the inside. Tooken Down has moved up on the outside, 3 wide from seventh, followed by Not What I Do and Passaggiata in the back. 8 or 9 lengths separates the whole group of them. It's Halo Security, last year's winner of this race, just in front by a head. Chancy Lady's racing in the second spot. A clear run for Nothing Special is claiming third. Cottage Garden in fourth. The Unforgiven is next in fifth. The entry, Shasha Begone and Tooken Down. Tooken Down, the one widest. Shasha Begone just shuffled back almost last position. Passed by Passaggiata and Not What I Do. Coming along toward the top of the stretch, Chancy Lady, this long shot's got the lead. Nothing Special's right there on the outside. Now on the inside, Halo Security got to dig down and find a little bit more than that. And Cottage Garden extremely wide is Tooken Down. Now Passaggiata's getting involved from the back of the pack as well. This is wide open. On the extreme outside, Tooken Down. Nothing Special's got a short lead. Tooken Down way out there. Passaggiata in between horses. Cottage Garden, any one of 4. It's still up in the air. Tooken Down extreme outside. Cottage Garden on the inside. Cottage Garden from Tooken Down. Close for third. Nothing. Time 1:24 2/5.
Throughout the Mid-Atlantic circuit with very good success this season. Nothing Special rallying up into the third spot. She made a bit of a middle move, but was not able to maintain her position into the deep stretch. The winner, Cottage Garden, is a chestnut mare. She's 5 years old, sired by Strawberry Road, and Strawberry Road mostly known for his distance running ability on the turf, but this one a very sharp main track sprinter from Strawberry Road. She was bred in Kentucky. She's owned by Helen Groves, trained by George Laird. Ridden to victory by Rick Wilson, covering the 7 furlong distance in 1 minute 24 and 2. Next, we're going to head to the Meadowlands. Friday night's feature was the Stormcat Stakes, $50,000 added. 2-year-olds going 1 mile and 70 yards on the main track. Let's head to the Meadowlands now for the call of Friday night's Stormcat
And they're off. See Tom Rowe broke to the outside and loses a length or two. Gadir quickly takes command with Edgar Prado. True Force rushes up on the outside to engage that one early. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Gadir is in front by 1 length. Far outside True Force at the rail. Granting is racing in 3rd position. A little precise between horses 4th. Tempered Appeal is on the move from the outside. Gap of 2.5 lengths. See Tom Rowe is now back into contention, and Diablo's Crown at the back of the pack, only 6.5 from the front. 22-2 the first quarter. They race down the backstretch, and Harry Vega has True Force on the lead now. On the outside, in front by a neck. Gadir is second by a length and 3/4, and Tempered Appeal on the outside is third by a head. The Roan Colt Granting moves through 4th, the half in 45-1. On the far turn, it's True Force in front. Here comes Tempered Appeal, moving with a rush on the outside. Midway on the turn, True Force at the rail. Tempered Appeal with Frank Lovato Jr. in gear, and here comes See Tom Rowe. Last early, but second now on the outside. A little precise with Bravo. The horse with the big blaze face is racing 4th. Top of the stretch. Tempered Appeal digs in, has the lead by a length and a half. See Tom Rowe into the 2nd spot. The others are far back. It's a 2-horse race for the wire, and with a 16th to go, it's Tempered Appeal. Digging in, holding on, winning the Storm Cat by 2 lengths. See Tom Rowe and has the lead by a length and a half. See Tom Rowe into the 2nd spot. The others are far back. It's a 2-horse race for the wire, and with a 16th to go, it's Tempered Appeal. Digging in, holding on, winning the Storm Cat by 2 lengths. See Tom Rowe is
named after one of the premier stallions standing in the world right now. Good stalking trip by Tempered Appeal. Frankie Lovato, a very handy ride here. The winner, a 2-year-old dark bay or brown colt by Valid Appeal, was bred in Florida. He is owned by the Mockingbird Farm, trained by Mark Cass, ridden to victory in a time of 1 minute and 45 1/5 seconds by Frankie Lovato. Continuing with stakes racing action from the Meadowlands, we're going to next take a look at Saturday night's Chief Pennakeck. This is a $50,000 stake for 3-year-olds and up, going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back down to the Meadowlands for Saturday night's Chief Pennakeck Stakes.
And they're off. At the rail, Loaded Gun between horses, Red Weasel. Here comes Southern Bostonian, third on the outside with the black sleeves. Middle of the track, Rosso Toscano is 4th at this point. Bought in Dixie is 5th at the rail, and Sift Away is 6th. It's just 2.5 lengths from front to back. The 6 move past the half-mile pole, and Red Weasel between horses. Now Rosso Toscano on the outside. Those 2 match strides up front. Loaded Gun just off the pace at the rail, followed by Southern Bostonian. 22 seconds for the first quarter. They're midway on the turn. Rosso Toscano with Manuel Aguilar on the outside, and Chucky Lopez has Red Weasel at the rail. Here comes Brought In Dixie joining the fray. 3 of them in a line after a half of a sensational 44-1 clocking. And now Bought In Dixie roars up and takes command. It's Bought In Dixie showing the way. Far outside, Loaded Gun moves into the 2nd spot. Rosso Toscano at the rail. Bought In Dixie with Jean-Luc Samin by 3 lengths. Clocking, and now Bought In Dixie roars up and takes command. It's Bought In Dixie showing the way. Far outside, Loaded Gun moves into the 2nd spot. Rosso Toscano at the rail. Bought In Dixie with Jean-Luc Samin by 3 lengths.
Loaded Gun is a horse that you may remember from earlier in the year for his upset of Artax down at Philadelphia. Loaded Gun making a nice move. This one broke well. It was in contention on the rail, dropped back a little bit on the turn, made a nice move into the play spot, finishing 3rd. Rosso Toscano, who had been on or near the lead every step of the way. Final time was quite quick, 1:08, and won the track very glib down there at the Meadowlands on Friday night. The winner, a 3-year-old bay colt, sired by Dixieland Band, is owned by the Hobo Farm, trained by Alan Jerkins, ridden to victory by his regular rider, Jean-Luc Samin. completing the 6 furlongs over the fast track in 1:08.1. Finishing up with stakes racing action from the Meadowlands, we're going to next take a look at the Holly Stakes. $50,000 added for 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back down to the Meadowlands for Saturday night's Holly Stakes.
And they're off. Tranquility Jane quickly sprints to the front. Elegant Future, the gray filly at the rail. This magic moment in the blue colors right there between horses. In third, Ms. Ghazi is fourth. Along the inside, that's Indemnify in fifth position. As they race down the backstretch, the battle up front continues. It's Elegant Future all out at the rail. In front by a head, This Magic Moment is second. And just behind the dueling leaders after a very quick opening quarter of 21-2, now Tranquility Jane tips to the outside, followed by Feisty Countess, who's on the move in fourth position. After that, it's Petite Deputy, who's fifth on the outside. Middle of the track, the gray filly, Queen's Park coming on. After that, it's Ms. Ghazi, who's dropping back along with Indemnify. First chorus is last. 44-4, a sensational half mile as they straighten away in the stretch. Feisty Countess with Clinton Potts takes command and draws clear quickly by 2 lengths. It's going to be Feisty Countess taking the Holly Stakes easily under the wire, the best by 5.5. Countess with Clinton Potts takes command and draws clear quickly by 2 lengths. It's going to be Feisty Countess taking the Holly Stakes easily under the wire, the best by 5.5.
Quickly on the lead, but was taken back. She was in contention throughout the entire running. Heavy favorite Petite Deputy finishing in a rallying third place finish here, though. Feisty Countess, very sharp effort, always on or near the pace. The winner is a bay 2-year-old filly by Count the Time. She completes the 6 furlong distance under Clinton Potts in a time of 1:09 2/5 seconds. We are going to pause now for a brief break. When we come back, we'll have stakes racing action to bring to you from Churchill Downs, Northern and Southern California, and of course continuing stakes racing action from Aqueduct. So please stay with us.
This is the OTB Network.
Hi, I'm Tom Hammond, here to tell you about the leading provider of research dollars to promote the health and safety of horses. The Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation has donated more than $10 million to universities to develop solutions for a wide range of injuries and diseases in horses of all breeds. Anyone with a love of horses can become a member of Grayson Jockey Club, and your dues will provide additional progress. Contact the foundation and learn how you can become a member. It'll be a favor to your horses and mine.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Churchill Downs, where on Saturday the featured event was the Churchill Downs Distaff Stakes. $200,000 added Grade 2 event for 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares going 1 mile on the main track. Let's head down to Churchill Downs now for the call of Saturday's Churchill Downs Distaff.
Speed to the outside, Crystal Illusion quickly up to join the fray with Barefoot Diana, Diffidot flashing good speed, and then it's Ruby Surprise on a gap of 4. Farther back to Rosa Robata with Zupardo Ardo on the inside. They're heads apart early, and Lead is at the back of the pack, 7 or 8 lengths off the pace. Up onto the main track they go. Leading the way to the outside, Crystal Illusion just a nose in front of Ruby Surprise and Diffidot, those 3 across the track now. Gap of 4 to Barefoot Diana racing in 4th. License Fee is 5th. Zupardo Ardo's up the inside. And behind that, Let comes on from the back of the pack. Then Rosa Robata. And now Chelsea's House, the trailer. Quarter in a quick 22 2/5 seconds. Moving for the far turn. It's Ruby Surprise opening up by 2. Diffidot second. Crystal Illusion racing in 3rd. Lead is rolling up into 4th place now. License Fee is on the outside. Gets a reminder to go. Zupardo Ardo has lost some ground. Rosa Robata starts to inch by her now. now. And it's Chelsea's House and Barefoot Diana at the back of the pack to the top of the stretch. Ruby Surprise passing the quarter pole. In front by a length and a half. Lead is just ranging up powerfully to challenge. Diffidot put to a full-out drive. Rosa Robata starts to storm home now. Final furlong. Lead is taken over, and Let goes clear by 2. Rosa Robata's running hard on the far outside. Let by 2.5. Rosa Robata running out of ground. Let's well clear, and Let and Calvin Burrell a decisive winner of the Churchill Downs Distaff. Looks back for the competition, wins it by 4. Diffidot held on for far outside. Let by 2.5. Rosa Robata running out of ground. Let's well clear, and Let and Calvin Burrell a decisive winner of the Churchill Downs Distaff. Looks back for the competition, wins it by 4. Diffidot held on for second. Rosa Robata was third.
And made a nice run for a 5 1/4 length win at odds of over 8-1 for Cal Burrell. Rosa Robata, a filly who had run neck and neck with Let up here at Saratoga over the summer. Those two ran the reverse in an exacta up here at Saratoga in Money Allowance Company. Rosa Robata also making a nice move late after settling early, a big wide move, fully extended to get the nose advantage over the third place finisher Diffidot, who had shown good early speed between rivals throughout the entire running of this race. Finishing in the 4th spot as the 3-1 lukewarm top choice was License Fee, a filly we're familiar with here in New York, who had recently gone through the auction ring down in Kentucky and was sold for $375,000, making her first start off of that purchase in a disappointing 5th place effort down at Churchill Downs. The winner, Let, is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown filly sired by AP Indy. She was bred in Kentucky, is owned by G. Watts Humphrey, and trained by George R. Rusty Arnold, getting the win under Cal Burrell, completing the 1 mile distance in 1 minute 34 2/5 seconds. Next, we're going to be heading back to Churchill Downs for Sunday's stakes feature, the Grade 3 Cardinal Handicap. This is a $150,000 added event for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares going 1 1/8 this time on the turf course. Let's head back to Churchill Downs now for the call of Sunday's Cardinal Handicap.
Off and running in the Cardinal Handicap. It's a fast start for You and Me, bounding out on top, joined now by Wishful Thinking up the inside. Pertella flashing some early lick in third as well. Quanto S taken in hand behind the leaders, racing fourth. Jamaica Newman up the inside is fifth. Arctica came away sixth. Royal Bloomer moves up on the outside, an early charge from her into 7th place now, then Mingling Glances, and a gap of 6 or 7 farther back to White Beauty, who's at least 15 off the pace early through the opening quarter down the straightaway in 23 2/5 seconds. Around the first turn they go. Wishful Thinking at the hedge, in front by 3/4 of a length. Pertella moves up the challenger early from the outside, 3 wide. You and Me's racing along in third. Rail Bloomer 5 off the pace and moving up fourth. Jamaican Newman's in fifth. Quanto S racing in sixth. Then Mingling Glances with Arctica restrained along the inside, and 5 farther back to White Beauty. Half mile and 47-1 up the backstretch. It's a honest tempo up here. It's Wishful Thinking and Craig Perrette 3/4 of a length in front still, with long shot Pertella there putting the pressure on in second. 2 back to You and Me racing along in third. Then to the outside, Royal Bloomer 4th by 2 more. Arctica's up the inside racing in 5th. Mingling Glances loops up on the extreme outside. In behind that, Quanto S, Jamaican Newman, and 3 back to White Beauty through 6 furlongs in 1:11 2. Round the turn they go to the top of the lane now. Still Wishful Thinking trying to hold off Pertella, but Pertella's taking the lead. Here comes a charge from Royal Bloomer racing in third. You and Me gearing it up under Pat Dave from 4th. Mingling Glances and on the outside in the stretch drive, and Pertella taking over. Pertella powerful, opening up by 3. Mingling Glances trying to bridge the gap, and White Beauty from dead last, but Pertella still strong. Pertella by 2.5. Mingling Glances running hard, running out of ground late. Pertella goes on to win under Brian Peck by a length and a quarter in the Cardinal. Mingling Glances was second. You and Me ran third by 3. Mingling Glances trying to bridge the gap, and White Beauty from dead last, but Pertella still strong. Pertella by 2.5. Mingling Glances running hard, running out of ground late. Pertella goes on to win under Brian Peck by a length and a quarter in the Cardinal. Mingling Glances was second. You and Me ran third in 1:48-4.
6th as the 16-10 favorite. Pertella pressing the pace very nicely here, looking very sharp in her return to major or graded stakes winning efforts. Finishing second from well off the pace was her stablemate Mingling Glances, giving Burt Kessinger a 1-2 finish here. It has been announced that Mingling Glances will be retired. I believe they are planning on breeding her next spring to AP Indy. Finishing in the third spot, You and Me under Pat Day, who showed a decent amount of early foot throughout the going, but was not able to make up much ground deep in the stretch. The winner, Pratella, is a 4-year-old chestnut filly, sired by Jade Hunter. She was bred in Virginia. She's owned by Bruce Barton and Alvin Haynes, trained, as I mentioned, by Burt Kessinger, getting the win here under Brian Peck. She completes the mile in an 8th distance on the turf course in 1 minute 48 seconds flat. Next, we're going to be continuing with Midwest Stakes action at Hawthorne Park. The Hawthorne Juvenile Stakes was run on Saturday, $100,000 for 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the main track. Let's head out to Hawthorne now for the call of the Hawthorne Juvenile.
And they're off and running in the Hawthorne Juvenile. A good even start. Advanced Edition is sprinting for the front. Up on the outside, that is Glad Tidings. And down at the rail is Winning Affair. Up on the outside is Castlewood into the first 4. Bronco Bree is in 5th. Deputy Warlock is next into the trailer. As they move on to the turn is Ransom Cove. It's Glad Tidings, though, who takes the lead as they go on to the clubhouse turn. Glad Tidings has opened up by a length and a half. Bronco Bree runs second. Advanced Edition is taken back off the speed, running in third. Castlewood is 4th. Guadalupe Macias, he has his hands full. He has his feet up in the dashboard aboard Winning Affair. Winning Affair very eager to go on with it. And then it's back to Deputy Warlock, and Ransom Cove trails the field. The opening quarter of a mile clocked in 23.95. They continue their run up the backstretch, and Glad Tidings leads the way. Bronco Bree runs in second. Down at the rail, that's Advanced Edition in third. Castlewood is next in 4th. Winning Affair is out of danger now. He's dropped back about 6 off the lead, running in 5th. And then it's back to Deputy Warlock, and Deputy Warlock has just now kicked it into gear. He's starting to lengthen stride, and the trailer remains Ransom Cove far back. They're on to the turn for home, and leading the way is Glad Tidings with Bronco Bree alongside. Castlewood up on the outside is gaining ground in third. And then at the rail, Advanced Editions waiting for running room. Deputy Warlock, he is closed within 5 lengths of the lead, and Deputy Warlock is gaining with each stride. He's now within 2 of the lead, and Guidry pulls his mount to the extreme outside and out of traffic. Deputy Warlock from way back comes sweeping up to challenge Bronco Bree for the lead. Castlewood in between horses. Advanced Edition down at the rail. Into the final furlong, and Castlewood is battling on the lead. On the outside, Deputy Warlock. Bronco Bree down at the rail. Advanced Edition is next in 4th. It's Deputy Warlock, though, who takes the lead 70 yards from home, and Deputy Warlock is in time to win the Hawthorne Juvenile. Deputy Warlock wins.
Stakes races for juveniles. They decided to hold him out of Breeders' Cup competition, and here get a nice win in a $100,000 stakes race out in Chicago. Deputy Warlock is a 2-year-old colt sired by Silver Deputy. He is owned by the Select Stable and trained by Ken McPeak, completing the mile in a 16th distance under Mark Guidry in 1 minute 45 seconds flat. Next, we're going to head to Northern California for Bay Meadows Racing, the California Juvenile Stakes. This is a Grade 3 event, $100,000 purse. 2-year-olds going 1 mile on the main track. Let's head to Northern California now for the California Juvenile Stakes.
Sharp start for Fight for Silver, and he goes out for the early lead. Shabab is second with New Advantage. Fleet Victor from the far outside. Remember, Chic attends the pace along with Globalize. Now go to No Curfew, Hurricane Carter, and Hasty Chris. Through the clubhouse run, Fight for Silver on the lead by 2. Remember, Chic from the outside is second. He covers Globalize. New Advantage is 4th, about 2.5 from the front. Shabab's a length behind him. Then it's another 2 to Hurricane Carter with Fleet Victor to his outside. No Curfew is in front of one runner, the favorite, Hasty Chris. Opening quarter in a sizzling 22-1. Fight for Silver by 2. Remember, Chic is tracking in second. Globalize remains in third. New Advantage is well positioned through the early stages, only 2 from the front. And Shabab is right there, 3 wide. Hurricane Carter has 4 lengths to make up. The half win at 45-3. Hasty Chris is to his inside. No Curfew is 7 from the front. and Fleet Victor is the trailer. Through the far turn, Fight for Silver, the leader. Remember Chic is being pushed on in second. Shabab is to the outside. New Advantage towards the rail. Globalized one off the rail. Hasty Chris is making his rally to the far outside. Hurricane Carter is 6 from the front. They're going to no curfew. And Fleet Victor, they're at the top of the lane in the California Juvenile Stakes, and it's Globalized and New Advantage. They get away from the field. Globalized outside of New Advantage. They are quickly separating themselves by over 7 by Hasty Chris in third. Globalized, New Advantage. Globalized, New Advantage. They drive to the wire. Globalized. Globalized will win the California Juvenile Stakes over.
Any better than the show spot. Hasty Chris did have a little bit of trouble on the first turn. He did duck a little bit, made a second turn rally very, very wide that may have cost him a couple of lengths late in the going. But he was well back, about 8 lengths behind second place finisher New Advantage as they passed under the wire. New Advantage is a 2-year-old colt by Summer Squall, a chestnut colt bred in Kentucky. He's owned by Hollendorfer, Litt, and Todaro, trained by Jerry Hollendorfer, ridden to victory by Ron Warren Jr., completing the mile distance in 1 minute, 36 seconds flat. We are going to pause now for another brief break, and when we come back, we'll have racing action to bring to you from Southern California as well as here in New York. So please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Mark Casano. Join Mike Veach and me Saturday morning at 10 for Down the Stretch. On this week's show, Michael and I will welcome 2 very special guests to the program. First, trainer Alex Hassinger Jr., the conditioner of Anise, who came from Daytona Beach to win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. We'll talk to Alex about the son of Unbridled. Then trainer Lou Albertrani, the conditioner of Breeders' Cup Sprint Hero, Artax, will join us. Artax, 4 for 15 this season, but 3 track records. Mr. Veach will have a pedigree analysis of Anise. Will this son of Unbridled be the one to break the Breeders' Cup Juvenile jinx? Then the rest of the show will be dedicated to you. We'll open up the telephone lines. We want to hear more of your opinions about Breeders' Cup 16. So all of that and more if you join Mike Veach and me Saturday morning at 10 for Down the Stretch, right here on the Off Track Betting Communications Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Southern California for Sundays running of the Moccasin Stakes. This is a $100,000 event for 2-year-old fillies going 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's head out to Hollywood Park now for the call of the Moccasin Stakes.
They're set. Racing. Classic Olympio bounds out briskly. Bold Feet gets a good break. Vote Getter showing speed in the black with yellow cap, and Gillies Ghazi now getting along the rail to be close handy. Trust Your Heart back near the tail with Abbey Girl actually in last position in the bright pink, but they're tightly bunched as Classic Olympio crosses to the 5/8 pole, leading by 3/4 of a length from the great Trust Your Heart, who's trying to get through along the inside of the leader, and Abbey Girl's going right through the pack now into second position, followed closely by Vote Getter. Gillies Ghazi on the inside. Bold Feet is now 3 lengths last and 7 behind Classic Olympio, who's clear by just over a length to Abbey Girl past the half mile. Trust Your Heart third on the rail. Gillies Ghazi working off the fence. Vote Getter 3 wide, 4 lengths off the pace, and 4 to Bold Feet. With 3/8 to travel, Classic Olympio 3 parts of a length to Abbey Girl. Classic Olympio's had a pretty clear lead most of the way. Abbey Girl's trying to sneak closer now. There's about a half length between the top 2 wagering fancies, and they break clear from the rest. Vote Getter is left lamenting 7 lengths away third from Trust Your Heart, Gillies Ghazi, and Bold Feet starting to run on well down the outside into third. It's Classic Olympio 3/4 in front of Abbey Girl with an 1/8 to go, now pulling more than a length in front. Classic Olympio has the measure of Abbey Girl. Bold Feet running into third, but a minute behind Classic Olympio, who scores a dashing win in the Moccasin. Classic Olympio leading throughout to beat Abbey Girl well down the outside into third. It's Classic Olympio 3/4 in front of Abbey Girl with an 1/8 to go, now pulling more more than a length in front. Classic Olympio has the measure of Abbey Girl. Bold Feet running into third, but a minute behind Classic Olympio, who scores a dashing win in the Moccasin. Classic Olympio leading throughout to beat Abbey Girl. Third home, Bold Feet, clear of Vote Getter, Gillies, Ghazi, and Trust Your Heart.
Considerable 6-length plus advantage over third place finisher Bold Feet at the finish wire. The winner, Classic Olympio, a 2-year-old dark bay or brown filly sired by Olympio. She was bred in Kentucky. She's owned by the VHW stables, trained, as I mentioned, by Ron McAnally, ridden to victory by Alex Solis, covering the 7-furlong distance in a very quick 1 minute 22 1/5 seconds. Next, we're going to be heading to Aqueduct Racecourse, where on Thursday, the featured event was the Stuyvesant Handicap, a Grade 3 event with a $100,000 purse. It's for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8 miles on the main track. Let's head down to Aqueduct now for the Veterans Day call of the Stuyvesant Handicap.
And they're off. Jazz Club is away well. Tejano Couture, Durmiente on the rail. Wild Imagination is there as the field heads into the clubhouse turn. And it is Tejano Couture who will grab the early lead. Jazz Club on the outside is second, and Durmiente is down on the rail in third with Wild Imagination in fourth. A gap of 3 to Carry My Colors, and 2 more to Mr. Sinatra. Then a gap of 4 to Best of Luck, followed by 4th and 6th, and the early trailer will be Errant Escort in 9th. The first quarter goes in 23-3 as the field moves up the backstretch, and it is long shot Tejano Couture leading here by 2 lengths. Durmiente racing in second with a Jazz Club in third. Then it's a 1.5 lengths to Wild Imagination, and 2.5 to Carry My Colors, followed by Mr. Sinatra. Then a gap of 4.5 lengths back to 4th and 6th. Then Best of Luck, and farther back Errant Escort. And they are strung out as they move past the half-mile pole. The opening half went in 47-1. Tejano Couture leading here by 2 lengths. Durmiente is second, and on the inside is Jazz Club. Wild Imagination moves up on the outside, and they have caught Tejano Couture. It's Wild Imagination, and Durmiente now heads apart for the lead as Tejano Couture drops out of it. Carry My Colors now moving into third. Then it's a Jazz Club, and Best of Luck is gaining ground on the outside. It is Wild Imagination with the lead in the stretch. Wild Imagination by 3 lengths. Best of Luck charging on the outside. Wild Imagination leading as they come down for the 16th pole. Best of Luck continues to gain ground. It's Best of Luck and Wild Imagination. Those 2 down on the line. Best of Luck, the winner of the Stuyvesant. Wild Imagination now moving into third. Then it's a Jazz Club, and Best of Luck is gaining ground on the outside. It is Wild Imagination with the lead in the stretch. Wild Imagination by 3 lengths. Best of Luck charging on the outside. Wild Imagination leading as they come down for the 16th pole. Best of Luck continues to gain ground. It's Best of Luck and Wild Imagination. Those 2 down on the line. Best of Luck, the winner of the Stuyvesant. Wild Imagination second. Durmiente was third.
Third place effort here. Favorite in this race, Jazz Club, did show some early foot under high weight of 120 pounds before fading into a rather disappointing 6th place effort. Best of Luck, trained by Alan Jerkins, who has announced that this has been his last start of the year. He's going to have a little bit of rest. They are hoping to bring him back next year and have a pretty sharp handicap horse. Looks to me like they're going to stick with his come from behind style of running, despite the fact that it does tend to give people a little bit of heart failure as they're watching him. He doesn't show the early foot that we usually like to see in New York, but overcoming the tendency of Aqueduct's racing surface to prefer horses with a little bit of speed. Best of Luck is a 3-year-old son of Broad Brush. He was bred in Maryland by Mrs. Richard DuPont. He is owned by the Bohemia stable, trained by Alan Jerkins, ridden to victory by Mike Smith, getting the win in the 1 1/8 miles Stuyvesant Handicap in 1 minute 49 3/5 seconds. Next, we're going to give you Saturday's Long Island Handicap. This is a Grade 2 event, $150,000 added event. 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going 1.5 miles over Aqueduct's turf course. Let's head down to Aqueduct now for the call of the Long Island Handicap.
And they're off. Toward the outside, Black Mystery, and coming up from mid-pack, it's Win For Us. And Win For Us will vie for the lead with Midnight Line and Black Mystery. Those three across the course early. And they're followed now by Horatia, who's moving early up into fourth position. And to her inside, Make the Most of It is reined in to run back in fifth. I'm in the Mood settles back in sixth. On a Soapbox is now seventh, followed by Alley Sunflower eighth, Dendrobium ninth. And 6 lengths back to Northern Flare, who's just galloping along easily through the early furlongs of the mile and a half. As they make their way into the stretch for the first time, and Midnight Line is out for a clear lead now. Black Mystery is running in second, and Win For Us is gathered back to run in hand in third position. Horatia's on the outside, fourth, followed by Make the Most of It, I'm in the Mood. On a Soapbox, Dendrobium. On the outside, Alley Sunflower, and Northern Flare beginning to catch up a bit now with 1 lap remaining. Under the line the first time, Midnight Line setting a controlled pace here. The opening half mile went in a deliberate 50 4/5 seconds. Black Mystery edging up to her neck on the outside. Second, Win For Us continues in a cozy spot, racing third toward the inside. Horatia's fourth. Make the Most of It continues well in hand while down inside. There goes On a Soapbox now. On a Soapbox is moving decisively as they begin the backstretch run. Then it's I'm in the Mood, followed by Dendrobium and Alley Sunflower. Northern Flare, the trailer. Northern Flare about 11 lengths from the leader. And the leader is still Midnight Line. Black Mystery right alongside her. Horatia's now third on the outside. Win For Us is fourth with 4 furlongs to go now. Then On a Soapbox. Make the Most of It has come off the rail. Only 4 lengths for the lead as the field enters the far turn. Northern Flare beginning to hit her best stride now, drawing within 6 lengths of the lead. Then I'm in the Mood. Dendrobium. Alley Sunflowers full out but last. Midway round the far turn now, and the race is on for the finish line with Midnight Line holding a narrow lead. Black Mystery is second. Win For Us storming up the inside. Horatio cut loose in the stretch. 1 furlong to go here. Midnight Line still the leader, there by 2. Horatia and Win For Us both closing fast. I'm in the Mood, fourth toward the rail. Midnight Line still the leader, 100 yards to go. Win For Us trying to come through on her inside. Midnight Line and Win For Us down to the line. Midnight Line does it, wire to wire, through the mile and a half. Win For Us second, Horatia third. Win For Us storming up the inside. Horatio cut loose in the stretch. 1 furlong to go here. Midnight Line still the leader, there by 2. Horatia and Win For Us both closing fast. I'm in the Mood, fourth toward the rail. Midnight Line still the leader, 100 yards to go. Win For Us trying to come through on her inside. Midnight Line and Win For Us down to the line. Midnight Line does it, wire to wire, through the mile and a half. Win For Us second, Horatia third.
States Horatia, trained by Luca Cumani. Actually, it has been announced she will be staying here in the United States and training on with Christophe Clement, so we can look forward to seeing probably both of these fillies finishing in the runner-up spots here behind Midnight Line. We'll probably be seeing them throughout the winter down in Florida and perhaps back in New York next spring. The winner, Midnight Line, is a 4-year-old chestnut filly sired by Chris S. She was bred in Kentucky by the Newgate Stud Company, did spend much of her early career overseas, has now returned to the United States and doing very, very well. She's owned by Prince Fahd bin Salman, trained by Neil Drysdale. She was ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, completing the 1.5 mile distance in 2 minutes 29 and 3/5 seconds. Next, we have 2 stakes races to bring to you from the New York bred contingent from Sunday at Aqueduct. The New York Stallion Series 5th Avenue division was run first. This is a $100,000 event. 2-year-old filly is going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head down to Aqueduct for the 5th Avenue division of the New York Stallion Series.
John, tell me when you're good. Here you go.
And they're off. Chris's Contender and Casting Cinema. Chris's Contender, the quickest of them all now, out for the lead. And from the inside, That You Miss Blue moves to second. Casting Cinema broke well, but is now on the far outside of Impeachable, who races fourth, and 5 lengths back to Wooty the trailer, and they're all chasing Chris's Contender through the opening furlongs. Chris's Contender, the leader. Dat You Miss Blue is guided to the outside now for a clear shot at Chris's Contender. A lively first quarter that goes in 22 and 2/5 seconds. 3 lengths back, Impeachable coming under a ride with 3 furlongs to go. Impeachable is third. Casting Cinema working harder in fourth. It's a long way back to Moody. Moving toward the top of the stretch, and Dat You Miss Blue has assumed the lead, has done it easily, and Dat You Miss Blue is cruising into the stretch, opening up with complete authority. Chris's Contender left well behind in second. Impeachable, alongside Impeachable, it's Casting Cinema, and Jerry Bailey's just along for the ride on Dat You Miss Blue, all by herself, cruising home to win by better than 12 lengths. Impeachable finishing second, and Casting Cinema. Impeachable, it's Casting Cinema, and Jerry Bailey's just along for the ride on Dat You Miss Blue, all by herself, cruising home to win by better than 12 lengths. Impeachable finishing second, and Casting Cinema.
Spot, finishing third, Casting Cinema, who had a bit of a wide trip, but none of these other fillies were any competition for Dat You Miss Blue, who looks like she might be heading into the New York bred 2-year-old filly championship here. Bill Badgett has said that he probably will not race her again. He is going to put her away, give her a little bit of rest and a little bit of time to grow. He's hoping, I'm sure, that he'll come back with a top 3-year-old filly. If not necessarily one that wants to stretch out to classic distances, certainly one that will run very well against stakes company, whether in restricted or unrestricted company. The winner, Dat You Miss Blue, a 2-year-old bay filly, a daughter of the late great Cure the Blues, was bred here in New York by the Landon Knight stable. She is owned by Landon Knight and trained by Bill Badgett, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. She completed the 6-furlong distance in a 13-length win, eased up at the wire in 1 minute, 11 seconds flat. Finishing out our stakes racing action for the past weekend, the New York Stallion Series Great White Way division, $100,000 added for 2-year-olds. This time Colts and Geldings going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back to Aqueduct once more for the call of the Great White Way division of the New York Stallion Series.
And they're off. Entrepreneur is away quickly. Karakoram Monk is there. Vodka on the outside. And they're followed by Curtains, who's now running fourth, and Polish Toy fifth on the inside. A break of 3.5 to My Pal Al. And the early trailer is Lord Alley. Lord Alley has already dropped almost 10 lengths from the lead. And the leader is Entrepreneur as the field races into the far turn. Front a length and a half. Karakoram Monk is second. Vodka's on the move, third on the outside. A sharp first quarter in 22 seconds flat. Entrepreneur really rolling right along. Still holding the lead by a length. Karakoram Monk right there in between horses. Vodka now only a length and a half behind. In behind those two, it's Curtains. And it's another 5 to Polish Boy, My Pal Al. Lord Alley still last at the top of the stretch. Entrepreneur is another gear with an impressive burst of energy. Entrepreneur is leaving the field behind. He's opened up a half a dozen lengths on Vodka, who's now second. And on the outside, Curtains, Lord Alley moving far too late to get to Entrepreneur. A good-looking winner here. He won by 7 or 8 lengths. Vodka finishing second, and Lord Alley was up for third, and the time was 1:09 and 4. On the outside, Curtains, Lord Alley moving far too late to get to Entrepreneur. A good-looking winner here. He won by 7 or 8 lengths. Vodka finishing second, and Lord Alley was up for third, and the time was 1:09 and 4.
turn and stretching out a little bit here, getting a 2 1/4 length advantage over third place finisher Lord Alley under Jerry Bailey. The winner is a 2-year-old bay colt, also sired by the late great Cure the Blues, almost really underscoring the loss of the great Cure the Blues to the New York bred breeding program with these 2 brilliant 2-year-olds this year. He was bred in New York by George Wagoner's stable. He is owned by Gary and Mary West, trained by Pat Byrne, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Completes the 6 furlong distance, 1:09 4/5 seconds. That wraps up our look back at the stakes action from this past week. Be sure to join us next week when we'll have stakes racing action to bring you, which will include, among other things, the Hollywood Preview, the Hollywood Wildcat, and the Valley Stream, all races for 2-year-olds, as well as the final stakes race of the New York turf season, the Red Smith for 3-year-olds and up, going on the Aqueduct Turf Course. So that race looks to draw a very good group of horses. Number of nice 3-year-olds taking on some older rivals in that turf division. Thank you everyone for joining me. I'm Jean Wood. I hope to see everyone back here next week.